want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee! Coffee, 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 coffee!
God damn, Jimmy. That's some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get that logo. Yeah. Morning, everybody. It's Thursday. Torstag. Der Torstag. Yeah.
Thursday.
Yes, Thursday. And
Yeah, for a moment there, I thought you're trying to speak German again. Just don't.
Was ist los?
Shut up.
Wie geht's? Oh, gotta get in my beard. Yeah. So it's Thursday. It is House of the Dragon, well, Fantasy Day, where we talk about House of the Dragon and other shows that are fantasy, sci-fi. Fantasy needs to be the predominant thing. I had thought about, because today's the finale of House of the Dragon episode.
And where's Keith?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with Keith. You're welcome to give him a call if you want to, John. I just didn't get a chance to. Because I think he wanted to talk about today.
He's always there for dragons.
Yep. So, good morning, D-Bud. I'm achy today. It's like right between my shoulder blades and my neck. So, I took some ibuprofen about half an hour ago, and it doesn't seem to be cutting it. So, yay. Just to let you guys know, I had my big meeting with KGRA yesterday. It went really well. We actually got to speak with the owner of the radio station. This is a global network. We feel very excited to become part of the family of this channel. And more so, what's going to happen, just to give you a heads up, we will be launching the new show, Dangerous Military Nerds, which will have Don Ecker and me. Wednesday will be Don Ecker and Gerry Day. We will do our morning UFO show, and then in the afternoon, I think 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, as I recall. Yeah, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central, and what is that? That's like noon.
1 o'clock Pacific.
Is it 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock.
Pacific is 2 hours before you.
For Dawn. And so we will be starting this show. The goal is to have, John Del Vecchio is New York Times bestselling author of The 13th Valley and many other military novels. And he has, because he's a former business partner of mine and a good friend of mine, and has agreed to come on the show. The show is going to be from the military perspective. It will air on our channel. They officially created an account for me on their station's StreamYard channel. They got the full pro channel, so they got all the perks. So I started yesterday. I need to finish uploading all our images and videos there, and then we got to plan everything out because our meeting got interrupted after everything was discussed, and they were happy with everything. They will eventually be picking up all of our shows sometime starting in January. But for now, until January, it's just going to be our military show on Wednesday afternoons. I think the next one will be the UFO show, followed by all Monday through Friday morning coffee shows in January. And then they want to pick up. And it's funny because we had the big meetings with the owner yesterday, and he was like, So what does each show do? Let me hear more, because you got to see clips of what I do. Bill actually made like a clip of me just doing the stuff that I do, my shtick. And I'm sorry, was that German? Did I speak German again accidentally?
Just continue.
I need more tasty coffee. So they were very tickled by it. They like my mental damaged way of doing things. It made both of them laugh, the owner and the guy, when they were, because I kept saying stuff during the meeting. Like I asked the owner, please don't make me cry.
In other words, you were just being Gerry.
Yeah, it's just being Gerry. Bill was cracking up laughing. And I showed him some of our thank you videos. They of course loved it. From
I got a fever.
That's right. I got a fever. The
Wow.
yeah.
Well, whatever helps you sleep at night, bitch.
This one like really caught him off guard.
Hey, here's your free cup of coffee from a lady in Rhode Island. What?
They're like, and Bill said it, the station manager says, I can hardly wait until I unleash you on our radio station.
Unleash is the correct word.
Yeah, because that's the word he used. You are going to make some, and I said, people are going to probably either really like me or hate my guts.
They will.
And Don Ecker's like, I ain't going to take any shit off you, Gerry. I went, oh, you'll take a little shit off me. This is what I do. I'm hoping Don will show up at, I don't know what's going on with him this morning. Keith, did you get a hold of Keith, John?
Yep, he said he'd be here.
And we'll see him at the
We'll see him in half an
bottom
hour.
of the hour. Yo, man, he's on Black Eye time. That shit's cool.
He's on Keith time.
They liked the Schwarzenegger Shut Up, but I think their favorite one was this one.
Personified in this case by a horrible cunt.
They were just tickled by all of it. Oh, this one caught him off guard.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the middle of the film.
I'm having a good day today. We got our new outro credits. I had to make some changes to it. I think this is just the generalized outro credits, so we're not going to have the name of the show and all that. But man, I am distracted by the pain. I guess, at some point we'll get into the show, but my big concern is, we didn't get into Martin, and Martin is a huge part of the show for me. He is the right side of my brain. He controls the chat. And even though I'm going to have a director for the shows, because they'll blurt in and tell me like how many seconds before we go to commercial break. We will go to commercial break top of every hour. I think that's it. We're not at the bottom, but at the top of every hour. They'll want you to do the show for 2 hours. But I do have good news for you. If I'm understanding them correctly, even though the radio show will end our show at its time, we can continue streaming with our after show still streaming. And so you guys can jump in and we'll still be streaming for the after show. So I think that'll be fun. We'll see. I'm going to see how it goes. I got to get Martin in there. They created an account for me to log in, but I don't have it for Martin. And there was no time to finish talking about Martin. So we're going to do that next Tuesday when Bill gets back from his family vacation. And he is our manager at KGRA. All of our, except for the website, we got to take care of the website. We're waiting from the marketing department at KGRA before we make any changes to the website. And there may be some things that they want us adding to our official website at popcultureminefield.com. But I'm excited about this. I know I don't look excited because I'm really I'm a mixture of apathetic and apoplectic this week. If you guys didn't see my post on Facebook and on Twitter, I don't give two shits about any of the news that we get. I didn't care for the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I'm more excited about the Star Wars Holiday Special from like what year was that? 79 than I am about the Guardians trailer. I'm very apprehensive about James Gunn being named co-head of DC Studios, because this is the guy who likes saying things like Aquaman, fish fucker.
That's the first bump.
I'm not worried anymore. They made it clear, the owner and Bill made it clear that they don't care. They want me to do the things that I do. But I'm not going to be...
Does
I'm
that
not
go
going
for
to
us
overdo
too?
it anymore. I'm only going to use it when it's necessary. Like where I said something about James Gunn and quoting him from his freaking, the episode where they call Aquaman a fish fucker. That pissed me off. That is denigrating the character. Everybody seems like, oh, it's okay. Now it's canon. Aquaman's called a fish fucker. Fuck them. The character.
Uh-oh. You're in trouble.
Hi, Don.
Hey, gang.
You dropped a bomb, and here he is.
No, again, it's a quote. I'm quoting the show.
I know, but it made him appear.
Oh no, he was gonna.
And I'm a talking local now.
Don is on his own time, like Keith. Keith will be here at the bottom of the hour. He'll show up all black and cool.
Well, I'm not gonna, use my camera today. I couldn't get a hold of my damn makeup person. I wanted to, I wanted to, if I'd have had a little heads up, I could have got her in here to do me right, but you're just going to have to look at Bailey.
That's fine. Bailey's a good dog. Good dog, Bailey. Good dog.
Do you like my Facebook posting of Bailey on the chair?
Yes, I did. I think I even liked it or loved it or something like that. Something like that. I'm sure it was something I did. And we've been getting a lot of updates and news this week. Oh.
Hello?
I'll come back when it's quiet. Hold on.
There's
What's that?
It must be Beaky.
Well, that's
So-
yeah, the some of the stuff that I know Gary's not happy about. So
Good morning, everybody. John, Martin, Anima.
Morning.
Good heavens. Hope you're all doing well.
Yeah, I'm a little busy right now, but we're okay.
It's freezing. It's freezing here in California. It's in the 50s.
I only speak centigrade.
That's about as cold as it gets here in winter. We're not there yet, thankfully. Oh, they're both here now.
hey, there's Keith.
Hey,
Keith.
10
Morning,
minutes early.
Keith. 10 minutes early. No, it's 20 past. It's perfectly on Keith time.
Ooh.
Okay, who is having all the background noise? It's not Gerry because he's muted.
And I've got my mic muted, so it's not me.
it's not me either.
Definitely not me.
Then it's Dawn.
Can't be. My mic is muted. Well, not right now, but it was.
All right.
Silent or me?
Worst enemy of radio, Gary. Dead silence.
Yeah, I can't help it. It was getting noisy in the kitchen. I had to mute. Let's see. I wanted to show this morning. What is that banging?
We were just trying to figure that out. I still think it's done.
Is it done?
No.
Yes, it is. It's done.
Yes, it is.
I got my freaking mic muted.
Yeah, and as soon as you unmute, we have the background noise.
Don't worry about it, Dawn. So this.
Well, Vicky is banging around on the blinds.
Yeah, she still doesn't know how to do dishes, does she?
Now you got me in trouble again.
You're welcome.
All right, here we go. This is what I posted. I cannot help but feeling apathetic, but I feel like Stan Marsh when everything and everyone around him turned into shit. The new Guardians holiday special trailer, David Tennant returning as the Doctor, James Aquaman fish fucker gun, named co-head of DC Studios, all of it just garbage to me. This is a garbage week. Not happy. Not happy with any of this shit. So, you know, Keith seems to find something positive in this. Until I see action, I'm terrified of this. Because James Gunn is cut from the same cloth as Taika Waititi, and that just concerns the shit out of me. Will David Zaslav keep him under control? I don't know. I'm hoping so, but man, he is a problem person.
Well, here's the thing. I listened to the big discussion that they had at Midnight's Edge. And I will say this. I think Tom and Script Doctor, the way they view it, along with Paul Chatto, is that while you have someone like James Gunn who can be irreverent at times, he has a limit, and he actually is funny more often than he is not. Whereas Taika Waititi is more of a comedian who has the ability to make movies. James Gunn is a writer, filmmaker, and real comic fan. And it may just be
you better
now.
Start acting like it, because I'm getting sick of some of this shit.
I know.
Peacemaker is not canon. I don't care. His movie, the Suicide Squad, is not canon. It needs to be completely written out.
Yeah.
Peacemaker just needs to be its own thing, because Eagly is why I enjoyed that show.
Yes. I don't think that everything's going to turn into some kind of a extension of James Gunn's version of the universe. I think that Zaslav has already had talks with both of them.
And
and
I want to point out again, Brightburn was absolutely how he feels about Superman.
Yeah, I can see how you feel that way. Look. I look at it this way: everything that is actually going to happen, I think they've already discussed. In fact, as Tom and especially Script Doctor pointed out, we're just now finding out what they've been doing and what they've been planning all this time. As far as a lot of the people who are signed, they're probably negotiating right now who they're going to work on what. From what they were saying at Midnight's Edge, they're speculating that it could be that secret project that James Gunn has been working on could actually be Superman.
Until I see something, man, I'm apprehensive.
I wouldn't trust James Gunn with Superman.
Well, I got to tell you, man, I like James Gunn stuff too on his own. I enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy films.
Yes,
but I didn't like the shot he took at the Justice League. I think he needs to not do that with DC characters.
Yeah,
DC has always been the darker, more serious comics, and I don't mind a little bit of fun here and there, but you better respect.
Yeah.
Not counting Golden Age and early Silver Age.
I'm talking about since we were kids. Keith and I.
Well, and here's the other thing that they pointed out, and this is something that Tom said he's been hearing, that it's appearing more and more that Zaslav is the one that's really trying to set the tone for how all this goes.
Right.
That Zaslav could actually be a comic book fan. Not just somebody who holds a slight interest, but that he could be hip deep, knee deep.
Yeah, well,
Same thing.
I'm withholding my excitement.
Yes.
I've had one of those weeks where I just feel like Stan Marsh, where everything just sounds like shit to me.
Yeah.
David Tennant returns as Doctor Who. He's now the 14th iteration again. Should be excited about this, but I'm not.
No.
I'm not excited because I don't like what I'm seeing over there. They're trying to appease fans, and then they're going to turn right around and in 1 year they're going to bring in that new gay doctor with his trans companion.
Gerry,
Yes, man.
I think maybe it's me, but I think your volume is very low.
It is.
All right.
It's good to know that my computer is not acting out for once.
Well, I turned it down last night because I was too loud at some point while we were watching movies, Anima and I. So, Real Wade Nation, I want to say good morning to everybody. Let's get in there. The list. Penny was first. Lord Thoth, D. Bud Martin, the Peter Vinkman fan site, Real Wade Nation, Kingsport Cow, Dragon Ruse, the Dork Knight is here. Good morning, Dork. Werewolf Jeebus, Magitech Mags. Good morning, Mags. And Tree Rock Creations.
I'm flagging that. So, Gerry, take a look at this first. That calls.
Aquaman is a joke because of Super Friends. They Super Friends turn
him into a silly side character.
Yeah.
And look,
let me also add something.
I'm not going to respond to that. It's like that's a comedy. Peacemaker shouldn't have had the actors that play them currently. I think that was a mistake. They shouldn't have done that. They should have some reverence for these characters, and that's Hamada that allowed that shit. I'm glad he's fired.
Let me also say this: Tom and Script seem to have some sort of a thing with their sources and people who actually know James Gunn. While James Gunn has all that comedy stuff that he does, he may actually be a real deal comic book fan. Die in the wool. And someone who you do not want to play Trivial Pursuit with when it comes to the history of DC Comics and all of its characters, not just the ones or any one character that's ever been on Justice League or Justice League Unlimited or even Super Friends. His knowledge is that deep. And I think what ended up happening in negotiating all of this was that I don't think Gunn was willing to take on all of this because he didn't want to deal with the business side of things. But he also has some ideas about how to pursue things. I think he's going to try to keep his comedy for a lot of the obscure characters and allow other filmmakers to come in to help flesh out what's coming next. And they speculated on Midnight's Edge that we could have a different director for Wonder Woman 3. That Ben Affleck and his Batman film, that they pretty much just decided to dust off his original script, the one that was changed and adjusted to make the Batman movie, that we could be going back to.
Well, we saw that one Atomatic for the fight scene in the street. I would love to see that scene.
Basically, they're going to resurrect all of that and do his script.
So basically, it's going to be the raid in Arkham Asylum, right?
Actually, they're going to stretch it out into 3 movies because the whole thing about having Deathstroke the Terminator was that basically based on what Mikey Sutton has said and what they were saying on Midnight's Edge, that it looks like Ben Affleck is signed for 3 films plus 1 more appearance beyond what he has already made.
That's good.
So
before we start the show going in the direction we're supposed to go, I want to share this video. Very excited. Count Gore Vidal is got a little announcement on his official page. So here we go.
Greetings, I'm the Count Gordon Duval, and Halloween is almost here. Get ready. Come out on the 29th to the AFI Silver Theater to see me host Nightmare on Elm Street. Get tickets at afi.com/silver.
Very exciting.
Cool.
That's cool. I love the Count. I grew up with him, and we've had him on the show. We had a great interview with him.
He is cool.
That was almost a 2-hour interview, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was like we could have just kept going. He was so entertaining.
I think for both you and I think it was the only time that, well, at least for me, that I was stunned. I couldn't think of a question really to ask him because it was the Count, you know.
Yeah,
it was the Count.
Gore Duval. And apparently, the real Gore Vidal did not like it and tried to get him to change the name. And Channel 20 said, "Yeah, we're going to keep it. We like it." So let's go ahead and move into the House of the Dragon segment of the show.
Finally.
I'm going to play There's a Story of a Man Named Brady. Yeah, anyway. Get you up here. There we go. Let's get going.
Alice?
Yeah, you're Alice. Let's get going, guys, and get us started, Animal.
Okay. Thank you, Don. So the finale is called The Black Queen, and we're on Dragonstone. We already knew that. It's going to be focused on Rhaenyra and her part of the family. And the first thing that we see is the unlit painted table. We start with Winterfell, which is foreshadowing to where season 2 is going to start, I'm pretty sure. And Luke is there all alone, and he has his hand on Driftmark. Rhaenyra comes in, apparently she's been looking for him, and he confesses that he's scared that Corlys might die, and he has to be the new Lord of the Tides, and he's not feeling ready for it. And how he thinks that she is so perfect, and he just can't follow that. Those are big shoes to fill. So she tells him she didn't feel ready when she was appointed the heir, and how her father had been there for her to prepare her, and that she will do the same thing for him. They're interrupted by Sir Laurent announcing that Rhaenys is back and needs an audience with her and Daemon. And Rhaenys basically fills them in about everything that happened. The king is dead, which kind of shocks Rhaenyra. And basically in the same sentence, she throws at her, yeah, and your throne is gone too, because Aegon has been crowned in front of all the people, which sets up Daemon. And he goes full paranoid, and she's sure that his brother has been murdered, and just goes into a rant, while Rhaenyra goes into preterm labor, because that is too much. Her throne is gone. They did that in front of all the people, and how on earth is Rhaenys still alive? So she tells them how she escaped on Meleys, her dragon, and Daemon is so angry at her because she would have been able to burn them all, and she didn't. And she just tells him to his face, that war is not mine to start.
Well, that wouldn't have started the war. That would have ended the war, because she would have killed everybody at the head of the war.
It would have triggered things, definitely, but it wouldn't have been the war that we are about to experience.
Well, let me also add something in that I've learned. One of the things that I don't think they've done a very good job in at least putting out there, unless you really know something about the time period, is that you are taught that you do not want to be the one to kill a family member. someone that you're related to. That is frowned upon big time.
They-
Something that Martin went into in the books. There are several characters who have had opportunities to kill other family members, and they don't do it because it is frowned upon way too much. Okay, it helps to explain why certain characters have had opportunities to do that and haven't done it. I mean, it is right up there with someone who would say something about the princess in front of the king. It's right up there like that. It is that bad. And so that's the reason why she didn't do it. To all of us living now outside of that society, it seems like, oh, well, she just wasted an opportunity. No, it is something that is drilled into everyone, and it helps to explain spoilers, slight spoilers. I'm not going to give away anything. It helps to explain what the final scene means and what the person involved in that final scene, why they had the look on their face. That is bad, real bad. Okay, now you can go ahead.
While Rhaenyra is in her chambers with the midwives and maesters in labor, Daemon orders patrols around the island because he knows if they were to attack the Greens, it's going to be sneak attacks. So we need to look out for anything coming in. Then we cut to Luke and Chase training on the beach, and clearly Luke is not a fighter. He's nothing like Chase or Aemond or any of those fighter guys. He doesn't want any of that. Rhaenys tells them to go to their mother, and Rhaenyra fills them in. Granddaddy is dead, and also reminds Chase that he is her heir, and while she is busy doing what she's doing, like birthing the baby, he needs to make sure that nothing happens that is not in her command. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to go over the fact that, Daemon goes immediately into war footing.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's wrong. I think that he should have been with her, but the fact is
he
he knows
her.
It's not just that, no, he's not ignoring her. He's focusing. There's a difference between, look, when I'm doing work and we're on one of our dates, I'm not ignoring you when I'm doing my work.
That's different.
No, it's not.
She is screaming in the background. She's calling for him, and he is doing his war thing with the guys.
Yeah, it's has nothing to do with like he'd rather. It's not a druthers situation. I don't agree with you even remotely on this. He knows what this means. Daemon knows what this means, and he immediately goes into action, and that puts him in a position of not being there for her. But I don't think she's fully understanding the gravity of the situation, which is why she is hand wringing. She's hand wringing.
No, she's not. She's not.
She's absolutely hand wringing.
No.
She would rather go the diplomatic way.
Yes, she wants to make sure before going to war. She wants to make sure who are her allies.
She also screws up at the end of the episode. I don't even want to go into it right now because we haven't gotten there yet. But her decision making in this episode was just not sound.
No.
What, buddy?
Well, it also goes to the reason what happened last week. And again, what happened this week. As I said before, to kill someone that you're related to, especially when your royalty is frowned upon, you are all taught not to do it. Okay? This is the reason why when you had Alicent last week, that was her whole thing. It's not just the fact that she's religious. This is something that when you are a royalty, that's drilled into your head that you do not do that. That is frowned upon. And it's part of the reason why Rhaenyra also doesn't want to do it. They're both paying attention. I mean, this is part of their training. Okay? To overcome something like that is huge. Now, Daemon, on the other hand, is a soldier. We've all established that. He's ready to go to war. Okay? He's already had to defend Rhaenyra's honor. He knows what he's up against. Okay? But he does not consider this lightly. This is also something that he has to think through, because again, this is all another additional level added on to what all these characters are facing. This is not so easy. It's not like watching
I
Dallas
also believe,
or
interjecting
Dynasty.
here, Keith, I believe he believes that his brother was murdered.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
he does. He absolutely does.
And that's the reason why he's focusing, because of the fact that he believes they've already broken that.
Yep. Everything, these people are traitors in his book, and a war, he knows a war is coming. Even if they're not going to bring the war, he's preparing to bring it to them.
They are traitors. Otto's plan has always been to put Aegon on the throne.
Alicent, I see, is sort of a victim of circumstances here. Her father is the real traitor here. You corrected me, and I think you're right in when her feelings is that she really believes that he changed his mind last minute.
She does, yeah.
So the treason is
But
definitely
it doesn't
her father.
matter in the end.
Otto is a traitor. He's a murderer, a royal murderer. He killed the king.
Kingslayer.
Well, that is really hanging over everyone at this point. So to be someone that has done something like that, that's the whole reason why Jaime Lannister is part of the reason why he is the way that he is, and why he reacts to the nickname that he's been given, because it is so frowned upon. What he did with the Mad King was something that you are taught never to do. Even though that's an extreme circumstance,
yeah,
you're taught never to do it. You can go on now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just thought it was important to point that out, because even I didn't really realize that until that was something that I learned. And that's an additional level added to these characters to get us into their heads better, so that we can better understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Zax, to explain it to you, when he went into the king's chambers, Daemon did, he smelled what they were giving him.
He was suspicious back then.
He was suspicious right then and there. He had already suspected it, I believe. But when he smelled that drink, he suspected poisoning.
They sped up his death. He
And
was
why
dying,
did he not?
but they
And the
sped
reason he
things up.
didn't do anything is kind of addressed in this episode when because it happens later in the episode. I don't want to go too far into it. Daemon says something to Rhaenyra about what he thought of his brother as king. And so in the end, he's angry about what happened to him, but he kind of feels he brought it on himself because he wasn't a very good king. And so we hear a little bit of that bitterness later, but I don't want to go into it right now. But go ahead, sweetheart.
To address something that I think Sax put in chat earlier, she does call out for him. She does call his name. Daemon. We hear her in the background all the time, and we cut to her a couple of times. But Jace comes in just when Daemon is about to get ready to fly out to the Riverlands to make sure that Lord Tully is on their side, and stops Daemon and tells him nothing is to happen until Rhaenyra is back. She is in command. And Daemon takes him out to show him what true loyalty means, and he forces the Kingsguard, Stefan and Laurent, to renew their oath to Rhaenyra and Jace as her heir, with the help of Caraxes, his dragon, because he basically forces them by telling them, you can either swear your oath to Aegon and have a clean death now, or you swear a fake oath, then you will die screaming and by fire, or you renew it. So the true meaning of loyalty is loyalty by fear, is what he's teaching him there.
Right.
We cut to Rhaenyra. She pulls out her baby and it's dead because the umbilical cord is wrapped around its neck. It's also deformed. According to the books, it's a daughter called Visenya.
Yeah.
And it's a heartbreaking scene where we see the Silent Sisters just standing by as she prepares the baby herself for the funeral. And the funeral is, of course, Targaryen style. The baby is burnt. And we see all of them standing there, and the same sad music we hear in Emma's funeral in the beginning. I like that because they do this Wagner kind of thing where they pick up themes. They use the same music when the scenes are similar. I really enjoyed that. Yes.
Any comments?
Patron. Apparently not.
Keith, nothing to add.
No.
All right, let's move on to the next scene.
The funeral is interrupted by Eric Cargill, who hates Egon and proved that by sneaking out Rhaenys of the castle. And he then disappears in the crowd, and now we know what he did, because he enters Swordside Wrong. He assures them he comes in peace and pulls out Viserys' crown that he has stolen and smuggled out of the castle. And then Daemon crowns Rhaenyra as the queen. So it's kind of an intense moment for her between burying her baby and being crowned the queen at the same time. And they all kneel down before her. All but Rhaenys. Yeah, Rhaenys stands there and watches it, but from the look of her face, I think she likes what she's seeing. But as we learned earlier, Corlys is on the mend. He's better, and he set sail. He's out on the sea again, and nobody really knows where he's going yet. So she can't decide anything at this point anyway. So it's okay for her not to kneel, I think. And she likes Rhaenyra being crowned.
Yeah, I concur. I thought she was very satisfied with that. And in fact, later we have a scene where her husband makes allegations and she contradicts, argues the point, you're wrong.
It's actually the next scene.
Yeah. Because we finally get to see him. He's back. He's not feeling all great.
No, he walks on a stick, but
on
a cane.
But he makes the allegations, her part in his son's assumed death, because we know he's not dead. And
yeah, but Rhaenyra and Daemon keep his cover so he can have his new life.
Right.
In Essos or wherever with his other boy.
Regardless of what's happened, she's firmly in the black side.
Yeah.
Regardless of what's happened before.
Well, she declined Alicent, but she hasn't declared yet that she is on the black side.
Well, and I can see that, but I mean, she knows that ultimately she must, because in the end, it comes down to family, which is really important to both her and Rhaenyra. We see, especially in this episode, again, how we all kind of compared and contrasted the parenting styles of those in the black versus the greens. It seems like everybody, all the ladies that are part of the blacks, are really good moms. Not that Alicent isn't, but the parenting styles, they are close to their kids. They love them. They show affection. And
Alicent doesn't. Alicent grooms her kids for what their function is going to be. Like she was groomed by her dad.
Yes,
she doesn't know anything else. She doesn't know better.
There is a definite
difference
between the two, and that also helps or contributes to how these kids later turn out. There is while Rhaenyra may not be a perfect person, she is one hell of a mom.
Yeah.
I mean, she just you could tell. You don't.
Well, she's maternal.
Yeah.
Whereas Alicent is not.
She never wanted to be. She still is.
Yeah, she can't seem to understand why her children are such rough around the edges, unpleasant kids.
Luke isn't. Luke is not at all. Jace is.
I think they're all a little annoying. I wouldn't have liked them if I was, around them as a kid. I would like these guys. There's something wrong with them.
Well, I mean, Helena. I think she is.
Thank you, Zax. Thank you. I've been saying this. Thank you. Did you read what he said?
No, what did he say?
Whoa, I don't think you can say, quote, the blacks side or comment on their parenting, Keith can. Because I keep saying, like, look, Aunt Sarnoff wanted to to hire, change what was in Game of Dragons and make them black actors. But I'm like, then you should stop calling them the blacks. That's just really freaking weird.
Also, technically, they're black and red. That's their colors.
Doesn't matter. It just sounds. It sounds, even though it's not. It sounds racist, but it's not. But it sounds it, but it's not. But it does sound it.
We can just call them dragons versus the High Towers.
But the High Towers have dragons too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they have the only dragon that has ever been to war. So.
To complement what Gerry was saying.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like I said to Anima last night that cracked somebody up when they heard me say it was, I'm not laughing at you, but I am actually laughing at you. Because she did something that was funny to me.
Wow.
Did I?
Yeah, you did something, and I said, I'm not laughing at you, but I am kind of laughing at you.
I wonder if that's true.
I haven't been this hyped for the latest season or show in a long time. Yeah. Now, I got to tell you, House of Dragon was a big shocker. Even with Ann Sarnoff's tinkering, it's actually good.
It is.
Well, that's what happens,
when you put showrunners.
Competent people who are
showrunners. Yeah,
that's right. I mean, it really does not hurt to have competent people.
And the word coming down today, that show that shall not be named on our channel, that wasted a lot of money with its stupid failure of a first season, the showrunners are placed on hiatus as they are apparently reworking season 2.
Oh yeah. They have to go. They have to go.
I don't even think She-Hulk should have a second season.
It won't happen.
If it were She-Hulk that I was talking about, I would agree. But they apparently are committed to 5 seasons of this alternate show. So they're going to have to fix it. And my suggestion is bring Peter Jackson.
I don't think Peter Jackson will do it.
Bring Guillermo del Toro.
I think Guillermo would think about it, but ultimately...
Bring any fucking buddy
up. Look, the problem is that you got 2 people who are
coffee in my glass,
who are basically shouldn't be there because JJ got them their jobs. And,
that's right. That show that shall not be named.
$billion failure.
Good. Shut up.
Yeah. The fact that you like it doesn't make it good.
Well, the thing is, and Keith brought this up. The guys running House of the Dragon were the guys that were fired by Amazon Bezos. They were heading up Conan the Barbarian for Amazon,
and the show they got replaced. The show that replaced their Conan show
is this other show that
was the Wheel of Time. And that was
the Wheel of Time. Yeah, another show
failure.
that was just complete failure.
That was
garbage.
And it's renewed.
And if you've never seen the video that Zach's made, it summed up that show. That little video. That stupid chasing.
Anyway. Backdoor has been breached.
Has it been? Oh, the back door has been breached. Oh man. I guess I gotta play the
50 minutes
video.
in, that took a while.
Like, wouldn't you know that back door would trigger a trap door?
There you go. There you go. Oh, John went to off camera. I guess he's doing something important other than this show.
Who knows?
Mel Gibson. Oh my God.
Well, Bezos would have a hard time firing him.
I got to tell you, man, I'm just everything that's happening is karma over at Amazon. That's all I got to say. Karma. Is it bad that I want to see Allison have her throat slit and die stolen? Yes.
Damn.
God
Wow.
Tell us how you really feel.
Come on, dork. Jeez, even I'm not that dark.
Yeah.
Although
she's not a bad person per se. She's made a bad person because
Well,
of the things
she's
that
different
has
than
to
she
do, or
is in the
things she
book.
has to do.
She's different than she is in the book. Her character, she's not a good mother, but
No,
that's
agree
from
on
her
that,
own
but-
rearing. Although I do believe she should have learned something at some point, seeing how Rhaenyra treats her kids. She should have picked something up.
She
you
doesn't
know?
see much of that though.
Yeah, she doesn't see much
Because
of
Rhaenyra is on Dragonstone. She doesn't see much of Rhaenyra's parenting.
Well, she saw it when they were living in the castle, for goodness sake, with the two boys that were clearly dark-haired.
What are you saying?
They were rather strong boys.
They were rather strong. That's
Go
right.
ahead. Go ahead and say
Do you
it.
not like it when I say that you're strong?
Go ahead. Say it. Go ahead.
Hey, Scribe is here. Who else has joined? Let's see who else has joined. Shanatsky is here. Good morning, Shanatsky. Lindsay, the Cynical Geek, of course, and Scribe Live are here.
Bill Barkley.
Oh, yes.
Bill's here?
Yeah.
Didn't I say-
He just
Yeah, Bill is
arrived.
here doing his thing. So.
Okay. Good morning, Bill. Good to see you. How is it in Scotland today? Let me guess. Overcast. Possibly raining.
Scotland, where the men are men and the sheep are scared.
Yeah, the sheep are scared.
Oh, God damn it.
Watch the new episode of Star Trek Prodigy. I will never watch that show, Bill.
What's that show called?
Here we go.
It's Identity. No, it's
Don't walk-
Identity.
don't walk
It's-
into the
I
light.
do not like. I do not like identity shows. Shows that, I mean, it promoted itself as with the promo where a character says, you know, I know who I am now. Thank you. Whatever.
Poop trip?
So-
It was. Did he just say poop
Focus
trip?
on this comment.
Yes,
Focus on
it's raining in Scotland. Look at that. Big shocker.
Focus on this. Focus on this.
I'm not unfocused. I talk for a few seconds in response, and everybody thinks I'm derailed. Jesus Christ. I just got picked up by a radio show because I know what I'm doing.
They're into chaos, apparently. They like
So-
ADD theater.
But basically, you know, Allison in the show is different than the Allison in the books. I think she's more a victim than she is anything.
Yeah.
I think that
Wow.
many of her choices and decisions were thrust upon her. And I think they show that in the show, that she's not wicked, which is why that turnaround scene, that turnabout scene during the dinner, I thought was good. She was not being sarcastic when she said these nice things about Rhaenyra.
No, the two of them made up.
Well, but also, you know, it's while she did not go into this as a bad person. The thing is that she's slowly acclimating to the people around her. The whole thing with the feet is a good example of that.
Ugh.
Because the way
That
that
was
entire
gross.
scene came out, the way she goes through that scene, this is a routine they've worked out.
Yes.
Just
it
because
is.
she doesn't look at them or take any
Feed
pleasure
for
in it,
information.
even if she has a, you know, even if she looks like she doesn't enjoy it, by participating in that, she is condoning it to a sense, because she knows who that guy is and what he does. And the same thing with Kristen Cole. She technically should have just fired his butt after he killed somebody like that. She didn't.
How he's not dead, Sir Kristen should be dead at this
Yeah,
point.
technically he
Executed
should
for
be
what he's
dead.
done.
Like I said last week, the two mysteries about Kristen Cole. He gets away with everything and he doesn't age. Jesus, Don.
He's just a good-looking dude getting away with murder.
You're
Literally.
both right. You know, he
White
gets away with
privilege, man. White privilege.
Here we go
White-
again.
white cloak privilege, but you know,
White cloak. Okay. Nice one.
He becomes leader of the Kingsguard too.
Yeah, this would make some leader of the Kingsguard. It's true.
Yeah. So moving on to the next.
We're in the Black Council. The painted
Um,
table is lit up.
So all the black people were there?
Yeah, all the black people are there. Rhaenyra comes in, escorted by her guard, and
My
Daemon
God, walk
announces
in
her-
and say, my God, I've never seen so many blacks.
Daemon announces her with her full name. Queen Rhaenyra, first of her name, Queen of the Rhoynar and the Andals and the First Men, Lady of the Seven Kingdoms, and Protector of the Realm. And she's proud
Were they
of wearing her
were
father's
they the
crown.
first blacks?
Do you want to take over?
No.
Then shut the fuck up.
I just want to keep taking my little shots.
I hate you. I
So,
know you, but I hate you.
Hey, Keith, I'm curious. Would you get in trouble if you said because you don't like those characters that you hate the blacks?
Do you even want to keep a channel?
He's trying so hard to get cancelled. Oh my god.
I don't know who these people are. They kidnapped me.
Yeah, we all forced to be here.
Now you understand what I use an avatar,
Funny,
right?
the stupidity of that. Anyway, go ahead, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. I'm not
No,
sorry.
you're not. You're not.
Oh God, I'm going to hell.
Rena offers Rhaenyra wine and is invited to the table, as is Bela, which is kind of a nice gesture because Rhaenyra, when she was the cupbearer, never had a place at the table, and she's inviting the girls to take part in the council. They go through where they're standing, what forces they have, and declared allies, amongst which, and I want to point this out, is the House of Celtigar, which is one of the three big houses. So far, we've had the Valerians and the Targaryens. House Celtigar is the third of the three big. Then they discuss Winterfell and the Starks and Boros Baratheon, who are potential allies, but need to be confirmed still. Keith? Oh, yeah. I thought you wanted to say something.
No.
No, but Zax does.
Oh man,
Oh Jesus Christ!
I was avoiding that.
Oh.
Gary's trying so hard. What the fuck? We learned that
nobody in the production of this show considered that to be something they should have handled.
They will now because of you.
This won't sound weird at all. No.
Look,
please continue.
Oh, you want me to go on? Nice. Okay.
Keith that's it. We broke Keith.
Yeah, Anima, just go. It would be most probably the last time we're on air. So
yeah, well, it's the finale.
Enjoy.
Of this, so we won't discuss any more blacks until 24.
Yeah, that didn't sound racist at all. No.
Oh my God.
Not racist.
Fuck you! You make me do this.
It's all in my mind. It's all in my mind.
Bye.
Look at me. I'm surrounded. I'm like Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back, surrounded by Muppets. Surrounded by a bunch of Muppets.
It was at that point, Your Honor, I realized that.
We are all just
By the way,
of Gerry.
Good morning to Adega Outlaw.
If he's still here and he hasn't left.
Okay. Tactics meeting, Black Council. Corlys is on the way to Dragonstone. We still don't know which side he's on. Because Rhaenys is like, that's for him to decide. He's a lot of the tides. I can't say anything. We have to wait until he gets here. Then we move on to the confirmed enemies, of course, the Lannisters, which means the whole West will not be on the Black's side, on Rhaenyra's side.
Doesn't sound racist at all. Nothing sounded racist.
Please, let it
I'll
go.
avoid the B word from here on.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Oh, God,
So
no.
basically,
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to make an announcement. This is an important announcement in all earnestness and seriousness.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the middle of the film.
There we go. We are at the first hour.
yes, and about 20 minutes into a 60 minutes episode.
Why? Because we're having trouble getting past the blacks.
No.
Oh God, I can't.
What is this? The NBA? I'm trying not to laugh. My face hurts because I'm trying to not laugh.
You're not doing a very good job.
You're gonna kill John.
was that a bridge too far? My joke about the NBA? Is that what you
Yeah, that might have been a little far.
Yeah, you broke Keith. That's it. We lost our black guy.
We still got lacrosse, right?
And curling.
Okay.
I'm trying not to laugh. I'm really trying. Okay.
I'll try to get this back on track.
Look at this.
She just can't get past the blacks.
I can, and I'm going to you.
All right.
Just try to fuck up and let me do my job here.
Go ahead, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. So everybody knows, if they weren't aware, I love this girl right here.
And I don't know
how she feels about you. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how she feels about you now.
Sometimes I hate him, but...
Oh, I like this one. Kingsport call says you had one black dude and you killed him.
Well, the black guy's always first to die.
Well, Monty Python said...
He does have a twin, though. Keith has a twin. We can get him in. No problem.
He's a lot shorter, so I don't know if he'd show up on camera.
Hey, I'm short and I show up.
I think this review will be a two-parter.
Yeah, likely.
I know. I'm gonna get a lot of hate emails going, what's wrong with you? Why would you hurt Keith's? We need to clip this. Greatest pop culture minefield moment ever. Gerry finally broke Keith.
Yeah, definitely clip this, please.
Okay. Whew. All right. Diaphragm is relaxing. Please, honey, just say what's coming next and stop using the word, because you're going to trigger me every single time.
I'll try. I promise. So basically the plan that they are laying out here is to cut off King's Landing from their supply lines, because they can get the north with Winterfell and the Starks. They can technically, if Corlys is on their side, control the whole Narrow Sea. And yeah, it's confirmed the West is lost because that's the Lannisters, which is why the Riverlands are so essential. And Harrenhal as a base, because Harrenhal is big enough to house all the dragons. Because they outnumber the Greens in dragons. The Greens have 3 adults, and I think 4 in total. Whereas Rhaenyra's side, you notice what I'm doing here, has 13 dragons. 3 of them are wild, but they can be tamed. The thing is, they don't have enough riders for the dragons. So I guess what we will see in the second season is that they will go for, after all the bastards, essentially after everyone who has Targaryen blood, and it will be able to ride a dragon to get the dragons up in the air. And Rhaenyra says, yeah, we do have more dragons, but none of our dragons has been to war. Which is also foreshadowing for the second to last scene. The meeting is interrupted because a ship has been sighted. The banner is a 3-headed green dragon, and we know who that is. We cut to the bridge and Otto confronting Daemon, similar to what happens in, I think, episode 3. And same thing, Rhaenyra comes in on her dragon. Otto is there to talk to her to lay out the terms that she's given, which are ridiculous. Because the terms are her boys, the strong boys, will be accepted as her sons, as her rightful sons. She gets to keep Dragonstone and Driftmark, but essentially he's insulting her because she calls her princess all the time, and she's not having it. She steps up to him, tells him that she's the queen, she's wearing a crown, takes off the hand symbol, tosses it into the sea, and says, "You're no more a hand than Aegon is a king."
Absolutely my favorite moment in the episode.
Yes.
It really is. She walks
Daemon
right up
wants
to
kill
him and takes
Daemon wants to kill him.
the
Daemon
hand
thinks
right
that's
off his
good.
cloak
Yeah.
and just throws it. And I'm like,
You
yes.
fucking traitor. That's what she says to him.
Yeah. And
really like that.
the other favorite thing in that scene is that dragon is right behind them.
Yep.
Just ready to burn them.
Yep. But because when the swords are drawn, the dragon gets excited. Like,
Yeah, he's
do I
like,
get to burn them? Do I get to burn them?
I get to
She.
cook.
It's a she.
Yeah. It's a she.
Syrax is a she. Yeah, well, she does not get to burn them. Oh, yeah, and Daemon's sons.
Oh, and that is, by the way, you
Daemon's
brought
and
this up.
Rhaenyra's.
I wanted to point out, you brought up, and it was like, oh my God, yes, she came in exactly the same way she did
Yeah.
when she was younger. She
Yes.
came in behind them with the dragon and landed on the bridge. And I'm like, oh my God, it is. It's an echo of that scene.
Yes, it is. And they keep doing that, and they keep doing it with the music too, and I really love that. It's neat. Because Otto stands there in front of Daemon and is like, "Where's Princess Rhaenyra?" And then she flies in on the dragon and lands and steps up to him and says, "I'm Queen Rhaenyra now." And he keeps calling her princess and insulting her. Otto also says that the sons that Rhaenyra and Daemon have will be cupbearers and squires. And Daemon tells him to his face, "I'd rather feed my sons to the dragons than have them bear your cups and shields." Again, foreshadowing for what is about to happen. Otto also tells him that terms have been sent to Stark, Tully, and Baratheon houses. Which pisses Rhaenyra off even more because she's like, they swore an oath to me. So, what the heck? Before things escalate, she stops them. Swords drawn, dragon all excited, and she says, "Yeah, King's Landing will have my answer tomorrow." De-escalating the situation. Because and I still think she's doing the right thing. She wants to know exactly who is on her side, where are we standing, who do we have, before she takes action. And the men, they just want to jump into action and go to war. And I think she is the clever one in this.
Yeah, and there's a moment there too. I think it was in this scene when, or was it later in the big meeting that Daemon announces, and it was the big shocker for me. I was like, what? That we saw him grabbing an egg in one episode, but he's stockpiling eggs. That's
later.
It is later? Because
No,
I'm serious.
that was the scene where they lay out. They have 3 adult dragons. We have 13, and I also have a stack of eggs.
Yeah, so they
Dragon
outnumber the enemy with dragons.
By far.
Yeah, but go ahead, sweetie.
But-
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're back in the council, and dragons
Shit,
come up again.
hold on, sweetie. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. I gotta play a video because somebody said something. I'm going to get one off my computer. Here we go.
wrong? I'm gonna go check the back door. Back door.
There we go. Back to the show.
One of the council members brings up the dragons and says like, we outnumber them. And Damon confirms, yeah, we get our dragons into the air and we can just have them burn down before the moon changes. And Rhaenyra looks at him, and because she knows her history, Viserys was big in history, and so she knows whenever dragons go to war, everything is burned. And she says, I do not wish to rule over a kingdom of ash and bone.
It's literal scorched earth
Yes.
when you go to war with dragons. Yeah, I get it.
And she wants to avoid that. And also, none of her dragons have experience, and Vhagar does. Vhagar's the biggest dragon in the world, so with a very dangerous rider at that. So this is where things get difficult because Rhaenyra wants to keep the Seven Kingdoms together. And
What, Keith? Unmute. You're muted.
Just Jeebus, Luke didn't do that. It's that's not how that happened.
no. That is Arrak's going rogue, but we'll come to that.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
So Rhaenyra wants to keep the Seven Kingdoms together rather than focusing on the Iron Throne, to sit on that Iron Throne at whichever cost. Her focus is rather on keeping the kingdoms together, but Daemon is not having it. Daemon wants
How
to-
close are we to when she sends her son out? Are we there yet?
Not yet,
Okay.
because Rhaenyra dismisses them all. She wants the room for her and Daemon. And in that confrontation, she finds out that Daemon doesn't know about the prophecy, the Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, and
Viserys
I was
never
shocked
told
at what
him.
he does here when he grabbed her.
He's a
I
violent
wasn't-
man.
Yeah,
No,
I
wasn't
was
either.
not shocked at all.
Not really.
That's a part of who he is.
Yes.
You know,
I know he pissed off a lot of viewers, or the writers did, but he's a
I
violent
think
person.
I
He's
think
a
he was
warrior.
right to shut her up. He needed to school her a little bit, but in the process, he learned something he was completely unaware of, was that prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because that means that Viserys never considered him to be his heir. Never. And that kind of hurts him. And
Yeah.
before he storms off, he says, dreams didn't make us kings, dragons did.
Yeah,
So-
that's a great line.
That was a great line, yeah. He's a great character. He's not a good person, but he's a great character.
Yeah, it's like he's a necessary character. And look, man, as a warrior, you kind of, it's like, you know, people like that. And we refer to them as the kind of people that you don't really want to chum around with, but you want them around when it's time to break the glass. And they're necessary. He's a necessary person. That's why him not being there for her having the baby was important, because he's doing what he does. That's
Well,
what he is.
He and the Snee Snake are the only ones that have any practical experience at war, because the kingdom's been at peace all this time under Viserys.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to keep it that way, which is what pisses him off. Because Daemon says it to her face, that's your father talking.
Yeah, and that's where he lets his true feelings about his brother out. No matter how much he loved and respected him,
He was frustrated. by
he
him.
was very frustrated with him because he considered him weak.
And as we established, that's his biggest pet peeve.
And finding out about the prophecy.
It's
And
sort
that
of
was
like,
never even considered to
Yeah.
follow his brother. That hurt him badly.
this
That hurt his
is a
feelings.
complaint by many in royalty and actual history, is that a lot, you know, because look, Prince John, famous Prince John, best known from Robin Hood, even though in real life he was also the poor king, because they used to refer to him as John Lackland, because he had no land. When he finally took the crown, the throne, the kingdom was broke. And so he had to go to old school methods of collecting money. And that is taking the firstborn from every baron in the country, and taking them hostage and threatening to catapult them or hang them. Now, when I say catapult them, what they would do is they would put a catapult outside of a family's estate, castle, a lot of castles, and they would threaten the Baron to catapult their firstborn against the wall. And they would really do this. And John, when he became King John, started the practice up again. And they made him out to be the villain. But the fact is Richard broke the kingdom. He's the real villain in the story.
Spent it all in the crusade.
Yep, spent it all in the Crusades, broke the crown, and left nothing to John. And so John had to go to old practices. These were practices used all along. So this is when I look at Rhaenyra and Daemon. Daemon is that guy that will catapult a kid against the wall, because that's how shit's done. It's like, you know, as villainous as it sounds, he's not the one who started it. That is a kingdom practice. So he's that. He's that piece of glass over the emergency button. You know, you break that glass only when needed. And in my opinion, this episode with the death of the king being murdered, that is the glass being broken. So when he leaves her, he's doing what that's why I kind of defend him for not being there for her, because he's being there for the kingdom. He knows what needs to be done. She, on the other hand, I think she kind of forgot herself this episode.
He only gets to her when the baby is already out, and he's just standing there.
Yeah.
He doesn't even go to her, comfort her, anything. He's just standing there being useless.
When we
people ask him, don't you want to check on your wife? And he's like, no, I'd rather discuss work.
Well, when we get to the end of the episode, I'm going to come back to this point, and I'll point out where she's finally where he's at, and we'll just go with it. Go.
Okay. In the next scene, we see Corlys is back. He's in bed. Rhaenys goes to meet him and tells him what had happened while he was out, sick, feverish. His brother is dead. There's a new king. You abandoned us. She's really giving him a hard time there. And he finally sees that he was too ambitious all this time, fixating on the throne, and he's kind of sorry for that. He's also very angry at Rhaenyra, and that's where Rhaenys steps up and says, this girl is the one holding it together right now, while all the men go crazy. We cut to the council. They discuss war of the men. Rhaenyra is trying to de-escalate. Corlys and Rhaenys come in. They ask what Daemon is. He's off doing something. We don't know. And Corlys asks about allies. Who are our allies? Rhaenyra confirms Arryn and Baratheon are of their blood. And the Starks have sworn an oath too. The thing about the House Baratheon, and I didn't know that, I just found that out. House Baratheon goes back to a bastard brother of Aegon the Conqueror. So they share the same blood. I found that interesting.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra reminds Corlys that he swore an oath too, and he confirms his full support, which means the whole fleet is on her side. The Stepstones are in control, because that's where he's been the past 6 years.
And thank God his wife put him in his place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had to. So the Stepstones are in control. He's about to install a blockage. So the whole Narrow Sea is under their control, and that means King's Landing is completely cut off from that side.
Yeah, I got to be honest, you know, the tactics that they're using in this are all logical, you know, from a military background. I'm telling you that this is really good tactics. So I'm hoping that they have not just the writing to go to, but somebody who understands military tactics helping them with this show.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is exactly what you would want to do, cut off the food chain.
Oh, yeah.
An army, as Napoleon learned, an army travels on its stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, now we are there where you wanted to be.
Because she is this is the biggest mistake of her character. of every episode, we've the story of Rhaenyra. This is the biggest mistake she makes, and I'm sitting there, and I was like, "What is she doing? Why would you do that? Send
Luke is only
your
14.
own son, 14-year-old, to be a herald, a messenger."
Yeah.
She should have known that there are agents out there that might want to do harm to him, that don't give two shits who he is. And of course, one of the worst is there at the castle when he gets there. So go ahead. He's got to go deliver this message.
Well, Rhaenys offers to control the gullet herself on Meleese. And Rhaenyra is about to send ravens to Winterfell, the Eyrie, and Storm's End. And this is where Chase cuts in and says, "Let us go. Dragons are faster than ravens." And she makes the mistake of sending them. Chase is to go to the north, to the Eyrie and Winterfell. And Luke gets the easier route south to Storm's End, to the Baratheons. Because the Baratheon that swore the oath to Rhaenyra is dead. It's his son now, Boros Baratheon. And he needs a reminder. And he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He really is. She does remind him, though, "You're messengers, not warriors. There's no fighting. Swear to me." So he kind of tries to keep them safe, but it's still a stupid move to send them. Lucerys arrives at Storm's End, and surprise, Vhagar is parked there. And he's like she's bigger than the castle. It's like, and then he should have turned around right there and then, but he doesn't. He walks in, finds Aemond standing to one of the unmarried daughters of Boros Baratheon. So it's clear offers have been made. He still walks up to Boros and gives him the message. And Boros calls for the maester because he's not only a piece of shit, he can't even read.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he really considers Aemond's offer because apparently Aemond is willing to take one of his daughters as a wife. Sorry. Somebody mute Dawn, please. Where was I? Yes, Baratheon is really considering taking up Aemond's offer because he's actually offering something, whereas Lucerys doesn't have much to offer because he can't marry one of his daughters because he's already betrothed. There's nothing he can do.
Yep.
And then Aemond confronts Luce and throws him a knife and says, "Come on, take out an eye," and takes off his eye patch and reveals his sapphire that is in his eye socket now. They draw swords. The Baratheon isn't having it. Not in my house. No bloodshed here. Take Prince Lucerys back to his dragon. They take him back out. Lucerys sets off, as does Aemond on Vhagar. And dragons feel their rider's feelings. And because Luke is so irritated, Arrax is too. And he spits fire at Vhagar and she's not having it. They both try to keep their dragons under control, but they can't. Because they do follow orders, but not always. They can ignore them. And that's what those two do. Because Arrax gets irritated, spits fire at Vhagar, and Vhagar's like, "Yeah, okay, you don't do that." And just snaps the dragon in half, killing Luke.
Yeah, and you can see on the kid's face that he did not want to kill him. He wanted to mess with him.
He shouts, "No, Vhagar, no!" But Vhagar's out of control. Wormwood kicks in.
This was
Someone
the risk.
tries to kill me. I'm not having that.
So now we cut back to the castle.
Yes. Back to the council, still talking about how we're going to do this.
And her hand wringing the whole episode. She's over diplomacy. And the news.
Daemon has found out what happened, and he has to break the news to her. "Your son is dead." And we see her back. She's staring into the fire, and then she turns around, and the look in her eyes is heartbreaking. The whole episode is about how much loss can Rhaenyra take.
Well,
I think this might break her.
Good job.
Yeah.
So
you're right, Lindsay. This is what I was saying earlier. Part of the reason why Baratheon didn't want them to fight is because of that. You do not kill people that you're related to, especially royalty. You don't do it. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter what the supposed insult is.
I understand Luke's reaction though, because he calls him a bastard to his face.
Mm-hmm.
So of course he has to defend his honor.
But the thing is, neither one. He had to make it clear, hey, if you guys are going to do that, you got to get away from here. Because he would be held responsible in that particular instance. Again, this is something that nobody wants to do. And at the end of that sequence with the dragons, that's the reason why he looks the way that he does. He not only lost control of his dragon, he broke the rule. So
he
it's
tries
like
to get
killing
away,
family.
He tries to get away. Luke is on his way home, and it's stormy and raining, and then Vader comes in over them, and that completely freaks out Arax, and he can't control Arax anymore.
You do not want to be a kinslayer. That is not something that you want to be. You want to be considered anything else other than that. Once you break that rule, once you cross that line, there's no going back.
But it's important to point out that this was not Aemon killing Luke. This was the dragons going rogue.
Oh yeah, but I mean, Aemon's never really had full control of that dragon since day one.
No.
This is the risk that you take in taking an older dragon that wasn't originally committed to you, and a dragon that was again a dragon. First of all, that's been alive as long as that one. I think he tolerates everybody more than anything else. But yeah, you're right. The dragons do function off of the emotion of the writers. But I think to a certain extent...
Yeah, and also visual cues, like swords being drawn, that gets them excited.
But the other thing is that I still think there's a little something off about that particular dragon. You know?
About Vader.
Yeah. I think there's a little something off about that dragon.
She's just very old. She's seen things.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, and about that emotional connection, we see while Rhaenyra is in labor, her dragon is experiencing her pain because she's screaming too.
Yeah.
Isn't Vhagar, isn't she the last dragon that's from Old Valyria?
Yes, she's the last of the three big ones. Because dragons apparently don't die of natural causes; they just grow bigger and bigger and bigger as they age. So,
just like with people.
No, I don't get bigger. I just age.
the island of Dr. Moreau.
Yes. By the way, I guess we've come to the conclusion of the episode. But I'd like to spend the last. Oh, yeah.
About the dragons, Viserys tells her when they are standing. Rhaenyra and Viserys are standing in front of the skull of the Black Dread, and Viserys tells her, "Us commanding dragons, that's an illusion. We don't command them."
Yeah, it's true.
And that is foreshadowing to what's happening here.
Yeah, so I'm curious where this is going to go, because we get that alert from Daemon that I've got a lot of dragons and eggs.
Yeah.
So it's like I can hatch them anytime kind of thing. It's like, oh, well, where are we going with this? But I do know where we're going as far as the book goes. But again, the book's a guide. It's not the map.
Yeah.
It's a guide.
I think we might get a fight for Winterfell, because there can't be a coincidence that the first thing we see in this episode is Winterfell on the painted table.
Yep. So next season, what are we expecting to see, guys?
Well, Dance of Dragons.
Well,
the war's going to kick off in earnest.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we're going to see is we're going to see, first of all, a very different Rhaenyra. Okay, we're Rhaenyra. She's going to be a war figure.
Yes.
And Rhaenyra's, there is an admiration in her towards Rhaenyra, a little bit, that we see in this episode, because we know what she thinks of her. We know what she's technically always thought of her, but that as circumstances change, you begin to see her react a little bit differently. Although in the scene where everyone kneels to her, she's the only one that doesn't.
Rhaenys.
Yeah, Rhaenys. She's the only one that doesn't.
Yeah, but she approves of her.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can tell by the look of her face.
She approves of her.
She's not the head of her house, so.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that
Here we go, Rocket Kitty.
we know what she's always thought of Rhaenyra. Rhaenys has always thought that she was a little not so much out there, but I mean, never really taking her responsibilities seriously. And
But she does now.
Yeah,
she does
this
now,
is the
and
first
she sees
time.
that. And that's why she puts her husband in his place and tells
Yes.
him, "Hey, don't you shit on her because she is keeping things together."
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. And when everybody kneels, Rhaenyra pretty much gives Rhaenyra the nod.
When everybody Neil Patrick Harris's? You were
I
saying?
think even though Rhaenys doesn't bend the knee, Rhaenyra knows that she's on her side.
Yeah. Well, as much as one can be. Again, I still don't trust that she's completely with her, although it's easier to be with Rhaenyra than with the Greens, because the Greens are just they truly are not good people. So, and again, you have to understand kinslaying. Okay, that's a bad thing, and technically, Rhaenyra is thought to have had a hand in doing something like that. So,
well, and now that's been broke, it's just going to get worse from here.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, this is about as bad as well. It's going to get worse, but this is pretty bad.
When dragons fight, the world burns,
and it's only going to get worse. And so by the time we get to season 2, that's going to be some intense stuff.
I hate that we have to wait so long. I hope it comes out early in 22, but it's probably going to be April. And Danny, I did mention the look on her face when she looks completely broken and determined at the same time.
Well, I've got a picture of it. Hold on, the image of her just sticks in my head.
You can tell she's broken, but she's in war mode now.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you got to understand she's lost a mother, father, daughter, and now a son. Okay,
yes. She lost her baby and her son on the same day.
Yeah.
That breaks every mother, I think.
There it is.
Yes.
Look at that expression. That tells you what's coming next season.
Yes.
She is all out of F's. I mean, completely.
And and I want to show this video because I really like this video. It's Suicide by Dragon is really what's going to happen to quite a few characters now.
He looks kind of broken too.
Oh, he is broken there.
I can't believe what he's witnessing.
Yeah.
Well, he was in love with her. I mean, it wasn't he loved her, or he loved her. Not in love with her. He loved her.
Yeah, he liked her. He had feelings for her. It wasn't love, but he did have feelings, and I think he's kind of glad that he didn't.
It from the book.
I think he's glad that he didn't make the decision to have her cut open, like his brother did with Emma. You fucking crazy fluffernutter. I was hoping she'd stay asleep, but.
Yeah, by the way, on Toxic Tuesday, we watched The Crow and talked about The Crow. And they finally realized that, yeah, your cat's going in shit. They finally realized it in the film. You know, they were watching a film that, oh my God, it takes place in Detroit because it's referred to as Motor City in the film.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's Detroit. And so one of the jokes I wanted to make, but I was having audio problems, was when the crow shows up at the table, and it's like I said, "You want to get RoboCops? This is how you get RoboCops: crime." But I didn't get to make the joke, so I got to make it here.
Thanks for your cooperation.
What joke?
The joke that if you want RoboCops, this is how you get RoboCops with all the crime and stuff. And but I couldn't make the joke because I hadn't figured out my audio problem. Now I have, which is I removed my microphone from the strip, and actually Scott thinks that the strip might actually be bad. I might have to replace it with a new USB strip. It's a powered USB strip, and he says those things only usually last about a year. But yes, somebody said the words, and here you go.
Thank you for your cooperation.
There you go. I really am looking forward to next season. War is coming. We had to go so many seasons to finally get a war in Game of Thrones. I thought that was a mistake. We're getting right into it in season 2. And if you know the books, now, even though, once again, I'm going to point this out because I see people going, well, I know how it ends. No, you don't, Shanatsky. No, you don't, Zax. If you've read the books, that means you see the guide that they're using. It is a guide. They are making changes, Dork Knight. It's a terrible character flaw in the book to have that kid kill the other kid on purpose with his dragon. It's a huge mistake because, again, they're not supposed to be killing family. It's a crime to kill family. So making it an accident, an act of dragon, an act of dragon. By act of dragon, you are innocent. But we can't do anything to the dragon because the dragon might kill us. So, you know,
I like the series version much better. Teenage
well, it
dragon
gives the
acting
character
up.
more depth.
Yeah.
His character, because it's very superficial to just have him wantonly kill him. To have him see it, regret it immediately. I am curious how Damon found out, because that was
according
mid-trip.
to the books,
and fell in
Eric's
the
head
ocean.
washed up. Eric's head washed up on the shore.
Well, we don't know. We don't know how it was done, and it was the same night. So I just don't know how Damon found out so quickly. I
don't think it was the same night.
He ran off after the confrontation.
Well,
with
we just
Rhaenyra.
said that she lost the baby that morning, and by evening she's crying over the loss of another son, and they present it like it is the same day.
Yeah, but I don't think it is. I think there's a gap there.
They didn't do a very good job of showing that. But
no, they never do.
But do we really need to know how he found out? He found out.
This is Game of Thrones, where it only takes a day to go across the freaking.
I'm a logic-oriented guy when it comes to writing, and if something happens out of the blue, you better have a damn good explanation why. Because there's always going to be people just like this guy right here that goes, wait, how did they know that?
Yeah, okay, here's your explanation. Damon ran off, pissed that his brother never told him about the prophecy, probably takes a walk on the beach to cool off, and Eric's head washes up.
Sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up.
Asshole.
So, everybody, any other thoughts for next season?
Yeah, they should put laser beams on the dragon's freaking heads.
Is it so hard to ask for sharks with lasers? Lasers on their head. And if people didn't know this about the those films with Mike as Austin Powers,
yeah,
Dr. Evil's voice is the head of Saturday Night Live. He's doing an impression of the head of Saturday Night Live.
Lorne Michaels.
Lorne Michaels. That is the voice of Lorne Michaels. The future of the story: incest. Lots of incest.
That's not just the future. That's happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, the most romantic couple on the show are uncle and or niece, uncle and niece. It's like,
yeah, Damon is her husbuncle, something like
I mean, I made a joke about this, 2 episodes back? I said, we're rooting for incest.
Yes. And
Keith,
remember in the beginning, like it's
Keith, are you
episode 3
here?
where she flies in on her dragon.
Hi, Keith. Are you
The
here?
look that they gave each other, Damon and Rhaenyra, and we were all like, "Ew, please,
Yeah,
let's not
yeah.
have this happen." And then it happens, and we are rooting for them.
I found something.
You found something?
Yeah. Anybody happen to watch Stephen Colbert?
No, nobody
No,
watches
thanks.
Stephen Colbert. Nobody
Okay,
watches.
so you didn't see George R.R. Martin on Stephen Colbert.
Nope, nobody watches that show. It's a dumb show.
Well, then this is breaking news for you guys. Martin came on and announced that he's 3/4 of the way done with his next book.
Again, nobody
he
cares.
was-
Nobody cares.
He was halfway through years ago.
I call bullshit on this. It's a bullshit story. George R.R. Martin,
I tell
you're a walking disappointment to everybody.
The books
Just
are
let you know.
done. He's going to wait, and he's going to release them either at the last minute or they're going to come out after he's gone.
What's going to happen is the apocalypse is going to arrive, and he's going to yell out, "Oh, I was so close to finishing my book."
Yeah, that sounds like him.
George R.R. Martin he would go on Colbert. Nobody watches that show. It's like got the worst rating of any late show. The Lady Quarter will take 1/4 of a century. Yeah. Next season will South Park also had yes, it does. I don't have it here, but I have it on my computer, so I will play it real quick. Share screen. I got to play only a few seconds of it because absolutely YouTube has hit me with that about that song, playing too much of it. Let me get to. I'll find it here real quick, and then we can end the episode on this song. Here it is.
Wiener, 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 next to another wiener.
There you go. Good episode, guys.
I'll miss this show.
I'm going to too, because what are we going to talk about next week? We have to
We still
find,
need to figure that out.
we got to find something to talk about next week because we don't have this, show. I wanted to do that one series, but it's like, no, it's based in reality. It's a real queen. We shouldn't do that.
No.
So we got to, and on Thursdays, it's going to be Fantasy Thursdays. We got to find things to talk about that deal with either fantasy, straight up fantasy, or sci-fi
Andor
fantasy.
did come up.
So,
We could
yeah,
do that.
technically, Andor's part of Star Wars, theoretically.
Which is fantasy.
Yeah, which is science fantasy.
Yeah.
Theoretically, Andor's part of Star Wars, anyway.
I do like
It is.
I do like Andor, but it doesn't feel like Star Wars. That's the problem with the show.
We're
is it
behind.
doesn't
We have
feel
like
like it.
2 or 3 episodes to watch to catch
Yeah,
up.
so it was one of the shows that you and I talked about possibly discussing. And there's other stuff that we can probably bring in. Like Winchester's, I like this show so far. It could be another thing that we talk about on Thursday. We can split the show up. First hour, talk about one show. Second hour, talk about the other show. And do a breakdown for the Winchesters, which is horror fantasy, and Andor, which is sci-fi fantasy.
That sounds good.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up here. Let me get to all of our favorites who have been here. Penny, you were the first in the room. Thank you again. Lord Thoth, all hail Lord Thoth. D. Bud Martin, always good to see you. Peter Vinkman Fansite, who she made a joke today about she likes waking up to me, and then she goes, I don't know how Gerry feels about that. Let's ask how Anima would feel about that. Real Wade Nation, Kingsport Cal, Dragon Ruse, The Dork Knight, Werewolf Jeebus, the Jeebus previously known as Monkey Jeebus, Magitech Mags is here. Tree Rock Creations, Zax Shinatsky, Lindsay the Cynical Geek, Scribe Light, and Adega Outlaw, Pope Metallicus. It was good to see you, man. The Bat Channel is here, and of course, Keto Simple, Dustin. And Dustin liked, he's actually done it. I made a very keto-friendly cheesecake, non-baked cheesecake. And it is, you take a 12-ounce container of whipped cream cheese, and you take either Cool Whip or you get the sugar-free Cool Whip, but my preference is using whole whipping cream, which has no carbs, no sugar. And you put a full cup of that into a bowl. You whisk that together so it gets really thick, and then you pour it into a almond pecan pie crust. And they make a really good one. It's got cocoa in it, so it tastes like chocolate graham cracker. It's got a hint of cinnamon and brown sugar with the low sugar. You add Splenda vanilla and another teaspoon of Splenda blend brown sugar. And I'm telling you, that is a hell of a treat. It's very keto friendly, and it's yummy. It is really, really freaking yummy. And I got the idea because I made a cheesecake dip one night for graham crackers. I had little graham crackers and was scooping up and eating it going, this is amazing. I want to do this more.
Cooking with Dr.
Gerry. Oh, fuck you, dude. You know, make me do it again.
He's right.
That would be a good show. It really would be. For Backdoor, here you go.
Wrong. I'm gonna go check the back door. Back door.
I don't know why I like that. But
because in your head, you're 5 years old.
Yeah, I am juvenile. My sense of humor is very juvenile. I remember Josh Becker said that to me in a phone call. He says, well, you've got a juvenile sense of humor. And I said, your face. He wasn't amused by it, but I was. It made me laugh. I want to thank you guys for being here today. Keto, if I do that show, you would have to be a regular on the show. If I do Cooking with Backdoor Gerry, Backdoor Cooking with Gerry. There you go. Backdoor Cooking with Gerry. Featuring Keto Simple, Dustin, my buddy Dustin. That'd be a good show. That'd be worth watching. I want to thank you guys for being here today. It was a fun show. Keith, as always, thank you for being black.
And late.
Well, I've always said it's better to be latent than never.
But seriously, the episode is called The Black Queen. We need a black guy on the panel for that, right?
The Black Queen. all fudge recipes, Keto. Yeah. Backdoor Cooking with Gerry. All fudge. Let's pack a little fudge today.
Let's get out
I
of
want
here.
to thank everybody for being here. Bill Barkley coming all the way over from Scotland. Thanks for watching, buddy. Everybody that's in Great Britain, thanks for being here today. Those of you in California, good luck. God bless you. I don't know what you're going to do. You're screwed. The Incest show is fun. The Incest show. Yeah, because like I said, it was really kind of creepy 2 weeks ago. We were rooting for Rhaenyra and Damon to get together, and it's like, oh my God, that is so creepy. That is so messed up to be rooting for that relationship.
It really is.
But it's been a good show. Keith, thanks for being here. John, thanks for being here. Das Wolfen, would you like to touch my monkey, Das Wolfen? Oh, Martin, thank you for being here. If it weren't for you, it would be
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
That's what this show would be without you, Martin. Got to figure everything out. And I got to tell you, look, if you send your kid off to be a messenger, they're going to get killed in a show like this. Why would you do that? Stupid. Don't do
She
that.
does make them swear, no fighting. You're just messengers.
Yeah, she's saying,
Because dragons are
she's
faster
telling
than
them
ravens.
not to fight.
Yeah.
What about the other people that are going to attack them?
Yeah, but she can't
dumb.
know that Aemond is already there.
Yeah, but
Because
she
Luke's
should
really
know that there are
surprised when-
people
when
out
he
there
sees
with
Vhagar.
ill intent. It's dumb. It was a dumb decision. I'd have never sent my kid.
I mean, Otto tells them that the terms have been sent out to them, also to Baratheon.
I just
Which is
call
why
bullshit.
she has to send Luke there. But terms being sent could
So are
technically
you
be just
saying that it's
Raven
Are you saying
and
it's
not-
okay that she sent them?
I can kind of understand her because Chase
Well, whatever
right-
helps you sleep at night, bitch.
Chase is right when he says dragons are faster than ravens, and being fast is important.
No, he is right, but it was wrong to send them.
Send the kids.
You
yeah.
knew he was going to get killed. I knew it before it happened. I never read the book.
But, yeah, on the
I'm
other
like, oh,
hand,
that kid's going to die.
She makes a statement by sending the princes as messengers. It's right and wrong at the same time.
Well, maybe she thought that it would work as well as when she did it as a kid.
Look, I got to tell you, it's like, she was such a good parent until that scene.
That is true. She was about the same age when she flew in on Head Dragon
Yeah, so.
to avoid bloodshed.
Yeah, but he's a different kind of child. Her oldest is a little like her, a lot like Daemon, but
Yes.
no. You also have to understand who the kids are, and kids mature at different rates. Some kids are ready for it. Some kids will never be ready for it. And
Well-
he was never going to be ready.
My hope is if she has another kid that they name it Anasaris.
The what?
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe, and
Keith
don't forget
doesn't
to
even
click
know
the bell
what to
icon
make
for
of what I just
updates
said.
on our shows
Look at
and
him, he's
channel.
so confused.
Also, please
I wish
leave a
I could show
comment,
you.
and we'd
I'm
like to
looking at him
know
right
what
now.
you
He's
thought of the
mumbling.
episode, as well as letting us know if there's something you'd like us to cover.
I
in
said
a
the
future
character should be
episode.
named
Don't forget that you can
Anasaris.
become a member of Pop Culture Minefield now. Make sure to visit our membership page and merch store
Anasaris.
at
Let it sink in.
popcultureminefield.com.
Deep.
You can always
Let it
find
sink
Pop Culture
in deep.
Minefield on Twitter,
Anasaris.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube,
Gary,
and
shut the
Twitch.
fuck up.
I don't wanna. You're not the boss of me.
Yes, she is.
Thanks, John.
Everybody's heard about the fur. The fur. Fur is the word. Wipe out.
That's all, folks.
Y'all come back.